Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Anno. How very good of you to join and still watch after episode 40 that we just had and still support this series. I'm super happy about this and we can explore more content, of course, with this beautiful game. And boy, we haven't even touched the modded expansion so far. Now in this case here, we want to go to the sky today with skyscrapers, as I've promised. Before we do this, we are also going to the sky with my warfare. So we do have 4 manticores and 1 flag monitor ready for action. They're going to fly in formation because we still want to take down those ships here, right? So they're kind of like idle, but they're not really idle. They're just looking, right? So they're just waiting that we are going in with more airships again. And last time they took me down and then flew back here and just waited again, right? Oh, we took over the island again that Miss Hunt took in the last episode in the New World. In this case here, let's go in and attack. Start with the Manticore right away. The battle is on.
Ship under attack.
Unfortunately, there's not many loopings or anything like that, right? The first one is going down already. That's the big one. And the Harpies are actually just fleeing. And yeah, let's just actually now chase them down then with my smaller ships, so the flag monitor will not have much of a chance of actually chasing them, right? I think. So it's all about this. Just on time, really, as my postal airships are soon to be coming in into Cape Trelawney, right? And with that, we have secured the airspace, and we can now focus on the letter delivery then between the two islands again. Speaking about this, we are full on local mail. Overseas mail is, of course, the big problem here that we'll need to solve then over time as well. By the way, item transfer depot we could also still get. This is a really cool building, right? The item transfer allows me to instantly trade any items that we have on any other item transfer depot. So if I have a one in Manola now, we can just instantly switch items between the two islands without having to transport it anymore with my ships. So this is a pretty powerful addition. So let's go ahead and also build this one in Manola right away at the Manola airport. Over here again, right? Item transfer, there it is. And with that, we have it here too. And that means now that we can transfer this. We also get something, telemobiloscope, attack range increase for ships, right? So if I put something in here now, we can then quickly get it over. Like for example, yes, look at that, Barbarossa's bones, right? The museum item that we have here. And if I go back now to Crown Falls, and we're going back into the item depot, there it is, right? Barbarossa bones. And we can then get it into Crown Falls inventory now. Oh, once actually there's a cooldown, a small one. I don't know why there's a cooldown, by the way. It doesn't really make sense. Still there is, but it's tiny, right? It's a few seconds, really. Okay, these ships are now completely been taken care of. There's actually some loot out of this airship. I would like to know, please, what it is. It could be something great. Something of epicness, something of legendary rank we haven't seen before. Fur coats. Yeah, thank you very much. Winter is going to be a bit easier for us. Let's actually move them back. And the manticores that we have here now, right? They're going to patrol now the airspace between Crown Falls. So somewhere over here to Asterix. So this area here, basically, where my airships are also transporting now the ladders, right? That's important. There is also an advanced battleship over here. How did this enter? Now, I think this has been here all along, right? It's just stuck there now. Because certainly there was no battleship entering here. Strange things can happen. Alright, let's transfer the item now that we have over here into my storage in Crown Falls. And then we can also, once again, equip it at my museum.
So much to be gleaned in that.
So these are just buildings here, really. These are not real items that we can have on display. And with that, yeah, we're pushing the museum now to 56%, right? So the more attractiveness we get out of this museum, the higher the coverage is going to be for my tourists. That's that. Now, onwards to skyscrapers. Finally, we have every building material in, of course, that is possible. We have all the demands fulfilled for the investors themselves. So in this case here, we can now push for that upgrade. Where should we have the skyscrapers, right? Of course, the goal would probably be to have them all around the central area then at some point. But we need to start somewhere because, of course, the skyscrapers themselves also want to have some service buildings again and stuff like that. So this is the highest density zone that we have, basically, this whole area there. And this area there, right? But this is a bit bigger, obviously. So I would like to start in this area here with that. Before I upgrade the first ones, we should make sure that we have a stable supply of all the high-end materials. And one of them is actually problematic. That's the steam carriages right now. And they're lacking the chassis that we are actually producing on this island. But it seems like in not enough high quantity. So I've built a third coach maker now that is getting already the caoutchouc in. How much caoutchouc do we have on this island? 940. And wood, of course, we have endless. But that should be fine. Produce more. This is not electrified then, however, right? So we have only electrification here. I could probably get another one in here that is electrified then. Seriously? Seriously? This hurts. There's the shoemaker here. Yeah, let's just work with those right now. This is not looking very clean though. So I'm going to have another one here. Back that up, this whole block here. And also move it all one step further. Over there, so we can make another block around that. That's better, right? And at least those two buildings are getting the electrification. This one does not. But that's okay. Not every building needs to be electrified. At least for now. We can have items here too. Do we have room for a trade union in this area? Nope, we don't. And by the way, it's just so that we cannot build one here to affect these buildings. Right? Also not the end of the world. But these buildings will not be boostable with my trade unions. Now let's just check it out where we are with that production here. It's still not enough, right? They're producing so slowly that I'm inclined to build me more. It is what it is. We need a new industry zone just for these buggers. It is then merging probably together here with my shoemaker, right? It's clean industry though. It's nothing that pollutes anything that we need to worry about. Yeah. Severely lacking still. The production itself, the potential for that is hopefully enough. Steam carriage is 6-2, so that is, right? So we have enough factories to meet demand triple-wise. Or 3 times over, but in this case, we're lacking the chassis. There it is coming in now, so that should be stabilized. Let's wait for this. We have 0 tons in. That means actually, we cannot even upgrade to skyscrapers right now. We can! Perfect, let's do it. While we can. Let's go ahead with the first block here. Ladies and gents, there they are, in all their glory.
So proud we laid the first stone. Keep it up. Plenty of real estate up there. My rivals are trying to keep pace, which is so funny to me, because they're all failures.
Go ahead and also upgrade these guys here. And as you notice, we're losing a lot of money every time we upgrade them. That's because the tier 1 skyscrapers that we have, they're actually not profitable, right? They have a maintenance cost of 1,800 credits, but they're only bringing in 1,300 credits. So every upgrade here, every new skyscraper costs us money in the beginning. It's a huge investment that only pays off over time. Let's also have these guys here upgraded. And with that, we've dropped almost 100,000 now already on the balance. This is why it's super important to have a huge balance before we start with that. Let's also have these guys here and these guys here. Right, and this really kicks it off. Here, I would actually like to wait because that's probably the place where I'm going to have the skyscraper monument at some point situated then as well. But yeah, that's the beginning. Now, the major goal is to make these beauties here profitable. By the way, from the ground, they also look pretty nice. Let's just go down here to the ground level as these massive buildings are coming up. What a beauty. I just love it. I love the transition to skyscrapers so much because it really adds a whole new level of monumentality to your city. Especially also when we look down here, there's the skyscrapers. Tier 1 out of tier 5, right? So we're starting at tier 1 now, and we can upgrade them 4 more times, and every time they get taller and mightier. And there's the normal buildings then again. They're the normal buildings. So in this case, that's beautiful, and it also adds a whole new look to the city from the ground, right, as we can see, this whole elevation kicks in here. We got the normal buildings and the bigger ones. As we move up the mountain here, we also get taller buildings. I think this will look lovely at some point then, when we finish this project. Now, in that case, they already have the first demand, and that's the department store. That's the first thing we need to provide. And all of this is now taking place in the investor tab. There's unfortunately no new tab for skyscrapers alone, which makes the whole thing a bit messy. But there we have it, department store. And we need to place it then. As we can see, the range is okayish, right? So with one department store, we can basically fulfill this whole area here. This whole demand, but we need to, of course, plan this carefully because I don't want to have too many of these buildings. So one here should be fine. Then we can have another one over here, and then probably one more for this upper area here as well. Something like that. Here especially it gets a bit complicated because we are merging together then also with my scholar district. So we need to take care of this. For this area for now though, let's build the first department store. We will need to move some buildings around again. Since this is requiring a lot of space, I would like to have it, of course, somewhere here where we do have a lot of buildings in the surrounding area and also not that much width. So that's the area most likely, right? And we can then move these buildings here and take them somewhere else. For example, here we have this nice row just beside the town hall where we can use those buildings, where we can move them over. And some of those smaller investors I'm also going to move then right here in my scholar investor district that we have. So here we're having then a few of them now, also beside the town hall. And with that we have the space, because of course the department store is not the only one, right? So we're going to have another one behind it, the furniture store, that will also need to take care then in this area. But let's build this first. I love to have it beside the avenue, because it's also a pretty beautiful building.
Sacred halls have to have
that just adds a lot of detail.
Worship. Get the suckers leaving with their arms full.
Yeah, and he's just babbling around in all his greed and stupidity. And in this case, he wants me now to also produce toasters. Let's just check it out. That's the first recipe that we have up here. Toasters, we got a lot of them. But the toasters is a start. And this one requires... Oh, it requests zinc. I did not expect this anymore. But we have zinc, of course, in Crown Falls. This also is then reducing the demand for jewelry and for light bulbs by 15%. And it also provides more income and happiness. So this is the first step towards making skyscrapers profitable by boosting the overall income then. Let's select the toasters.
Is sure to please many customers.
We should have...
A toaster! The perfect trap! Pipe toasty smells out and put the suckers in mind of breakfasts surrounded by family, childhood camping trips, all weak spots we'll target.
Perfect. That's how we make profit and get the weak spots in. Let's just see where we could have our warehouse, please. Oh, I did not calculate this in so much. I think this would be a nice spot here, right? We have the police station. Of course, we're going to keep the church, but beside that we should be able to somehow squeeze in a warehouse. This warehouse will then provide everything that we need for department stores and the furniture stores then as well. So let's also upgrade this one a couple of times so that it actually fits into that city here, right? So that it looks nice and all. And this, by the way, feels a bit out of place, right? We're going to remodel the police station soon though. Don't worry about that. We might actually start with that already. Let's go ahead and go get the police headquarters. This is a skyscraper police station with an immense range. And I think it makes sense. So if we build this one, we add another skyscraper, which is lovely. And we get a lot of coverage in for police forces. If those skyscraper investors want to riot, we just take care of them easily. There's a police station here. We can get rid of that. So then I'm going to move a bunch of these buildings then over. Can we actually make this block? This should be possible. Question is, where do we have it? Yeah, I would like to have it probably here. My police station. Right, so we do need to move a bunch of them away for now. Do we still have space up here? We do. Perfect. And this one still too. There you go. That adds a lovely space here now. And as you can see, you need that space, right? To have this police headquarters then here in the city center now of Crown Falls. And with that, you have a new tourist spot. A nice view over the city itself. And With that, we don't need this one anymore, right? So we open up a bit more space again with all of this, as this probably goes then to the church there as well. Now, with all said and done, we still need the zinc, right? And we do have the zinc deposits on the island. There is one of them. So let's build us that mine again. And you know what? Let's actually build all 3 mines again, because it doesn't matter at this point. We have the workforce and we have the money. So let's just get in those 3 again to get the zinc done. We are going to need lots of zinc anyway, because that's not going to be the only department store, of course, in range.
We had more types of products in our stores.
And there we have the toasters now.
Ship under attack.
And with that, boosting our income again a bit there to 823,000. Very good. It doesn't make the skyscrapers profitable yet, but it reduces the loss that we had out of these, right? And it also fulfills now that demand. So we can now upgrade these tier 1 skyscrapers to tier 2 already with just this demand mat. Need to wait a bit because there's still investors moving in, right? So this still goes up here. I think up to 80, and then we can actually upgrade this to the next level.
So, what? Surely you weren't about to stop here. These skyscrapers can go even higher, and if they can, they should.
Right, let's do this. We can upgrade them. There's still a bunch of tier 1s, by the way, that we should also get cracking. Right, so whatever is in range. And let's just see. Oh, also he wants me to...
A wise one. To kick off, we have to invest in R&D. A bored chore, but we delegate. Once we built them their lab, we can get on to the real stuff.
There we upgrade them. With the upgrade, we need to be a bit careful though. So we need to keep the panorama effect in, right? So we now have this new thing kicking in, the panorama. And this one is actually the thing that makes these skyscrapers profitable. If these skyscrapers have a nice view of the surrounding area, that means the other skyscrapers in the surrounding area need to be 1 tier lower. Then actually we get an intense panorama effect. And this one boosts the income of this by 15%. And this is what makes it profitable now. So now we have 5,300 income for 1 tier 2 skyscraper and only 2,600 maintenance cost.
By lower ones would provide the best panoramas of the city. A truly intense panorama of the city. Reserve an apartment for me at the top. I'd love to be the envy of others.
And I also love the panorama effect because it forces you to make the skyscrapers quite diverse.
Get this all the time. Here, go ahead if you want to laugh. Someone likes a crystal ball. If I wanted foreboding notes, I'd go see my cardiologist. Only no-hopers hate change. Can we expect you up on the sky deck for lunch?
Okay, this should be it for now, upgrading wise, and reach engineer skyscrapers as well now. Upgrade level 2 skyscrapers and the engineer skyscrapers that he wants me to do. Alright, that's that, right? So there we have them now. They have a whole bunch of new needs. So they want now chewing gum and biscuits as the next demand then before we can upgrade them. Also, where are my engineer residences that we could upgrade? It's those guys here, but they're missing something. Electricity. This whole southern block requires still electricity. Wait a second, does this mean? Alright, also the hotels are not electrified at the moment. So this should be my next target. Question is, we have the train here obviously, so this should be easy. Where should we have the electrification though? With these skyscrapers, by the way, we're boosting our population. Because of course there's a lot more people fitting in. With that we also reached a new level. And this looks like a lovely location for it because it offers lots of coverage. For this we'll need to delete some of those worker residences that we have over here. So I'm just going to move them over. By the way, we should also then upgrade those artisans here, but they need a better university first. There we have the power plant. Let's have it so that it has actually access to the avenue because we want to, of course, push it all the way up here. So let's just see. Does this make a difference here? Of course it makes a difference. Build it. And with that, I just need here that access then to the train. Right, and with that, we do have another power station that we can now use and upgrade then those engineers here. We though head back to Manola for now, because here we do now have the foundation finish, or the next phase actually, of our glorious Grand Stadium. And this now opens up the last step. And this requires, once again, reinforced concrete, steel, and bricks, and also 1,000 obreros. Let's start with that. Coming along now. Once again, I think it's looking into the wrong direction, but we can rectify this once we finished it. That new monument here also for Manola. While we're in Manola and in the New World, actually, yeah, it's not a coincidence, we should be doing something else. We should, first of all, repair what is destroyed. So once again, we need to have some steel in Tomasi. Do we not have a trade route going directly there?
Ready for
Let's use my airships for this. By the way, there's also Pegasus here with the white flag on board still. Get some building materials over to Tomasi though. And I should also work on something else, and that is citrus over here, right? That is the good that we are going to need for the cinnamon for the biscuit production, and there's also the cinnamon here that we're going to need for the chewing gum production. So that's two things. They don't need fertility; they really just need space, right? And then we can build them. But they need a lot of space. Lucky us, we do have islands available that have a lot of space. Workforce though is the biggest issue. So Rosario here looks actually pretty promising to me, because we have a lot of good workforce here that we can use. We could also use one of the new islands that we conquered. Either way, we're going to need more workforce anyway. We have 1,800 in Manola. I still don't have the influence, unfortunately, to build me a commute here. It's just not going to happen.
Beautiful.
Let's continue with upgrading some engineers. That would be over here then.
Boring! We're shaping the future of consume here. The outside's drab. Has to show off what happens inside. People like gardens, right? Slap a gazebo next to it.
An explosion in one of your factories.
Just make sure that it does look a bit organic, so that we don't upgrade everything at once. And with that, you also have those engineer residences here. They actually have everything fulfilled already, the department store primarily. And with that, we can then upgrade them to the next level as well. Very good. Gazebo plaza then next to the engineer skyscraper. That's what he wants. Now for the demands that we have here, it's actually a bit tricky. The biscuits need the citrus that we have, right? Or soon have, that we can transport over. So this assembly line here we need to have in Crown Falls. However, the chewing gum production needs to be in the New World. So you can't have every factory in one space. You actually also need to spread this out quite a bit. And that is the chewing gum production that we should find pretty far behind over here. There it is. And all the resources though are in the New World, so that's coming in handily here for us. And Martino looks like the perfect place for this, because we have lots of space here. We have no real fertility that we need here that we'd use somewhere else, or that we're not already using somewhere else. And in this case here, lots of space as well, and already a tiny village that we can continue upgrading. So the only thing that's missing right now is a Pegasus that we should be coming in. There it is. With lots of building materials, right? It's stuffed with it, in fact. To make things a bit easier for us, I would also like to continue with more ships. So we have another trader here and another trader here. Both of them are going now over there to the New World. So that's two more white flag ships that we have. To Martino, please. Because we're going to need some trading here soon. Also, my salvager is back. I wanted to check out how we could improve my echo. There it is. And this requires the normal scrap that we already have, the nice scrap, sorry. The legendary one, right? Quartz, sand, and steel. We have all of this. So we can actually build the legendary echo. This will make treasure hunt significantly easier, because it has then a huge range to show us where the locations are. How is it coming along with the research? We have finished the research, by the way, for the building permit, right? And with that, yeah, we can build the dreadnought now one time. However, 40 influence is still missing, so that's something we need to push higher. Do we have already... No, we don't have another building permit, unfortunately, finished here. Let's also quickly jump to the old world. So lots of jumping around, because here I would like to work on a few more items. He usually has these items for the assembly lines. There it is, right? The Get Rich Quick Volume 7. Boost productivity by 80% for these, so we don't need to build so many of these factories. We can also boost them with electricity, but of course primarily we can use it with those items. You could also, by the way, boost the orchards. This one here produces citrus then, for example, as an extra good. Let's take it in for now. You never know how you use it then later. That's just basically very important items though that we have, or that we need. That's the chemical plant productivity boost. So to get this in, yeah, we have the money for it. New wood orchards and industrial oil presses, 25%. Let's also get this one done. Also some ship boosting here that we have, but really I'm not expecting a big war at the moment, so we can really take it easy, focus on productivity, focus on new products, on new population tiers and stuff like that. This is what I would like to primarily do right now. I think that's it for him at the moment. So let's get down here to Eli now next with our shopping spree. Meanwhile, we have arrived at Martino once again with my building materials. So I would really like to continue now the expansion of this town. Since, yeah, we have quite a lot of things in store for it. And I do need workforce for that. 243 workforce is okayish. And with that, somewhere far away over here, we have some oil fields that we are never going to need. It's just 2 of them. I would like to move over. Ah, that's so much beautiful space here. Lovely. Right? Where we can build our industry of dreams. Let's just check it out, how many biscuits we need. I think it's very minor right now. It's probably going up to 6 tons over time. Perhaps 8 tons even. Right? So we definitely need a production for this, but it doesn't need to be that much. Let's just check it out here as well. Where's my orchards again? This is getting really convoluted here, right? You have so many things now up and running. There it is. So yeah, it's 3 in fact, if I want to have up to 6 biscuits then as a consumption. So that's not that much. So we need to build them like forest huts, right? They need to have some distance between them. The thing is, there is also a mod that allows you to place fields instead of the range that we have here, right? Which makes the thing easier, in fact, but I've actually decided not to use that mod for now. So in that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there we have it. And let's just go in, give them a nice road connection to my warehouse and call it a day. I should move this a bit further over. There you go. That should actually be it. Let's build all of them, right? To get this done. Oh, you're still going to need the connection here. Citrus, it is. Citrus, citrus, citrus. There you go. Planting process, in fact. And then we can actually start with the production. Now, then we have the cinnamon. I think for the chewing gum, it's pretty much the same consumption rate that we should work on. Chewing gum. There it is. It's actually less than that. So if I go with 6 as a top, we also will actually just need, once again, 3 for this one. By the way, my mistake. I actually just need 3 of these, right? We're having 6 right now. So in this case, let's get rid of these again. Let's make 4. I always want to have a bit of a surplus. But we still need 3 more for the cinnamon now. So let's have this a bit further down, right? So that we leave some room for further productions. And having 4 here should actually do the trick already, with 1 warehouse in the center to make the delivery. They're definitely very cheap when it comes to money. However, they're not that cheap when it comes to workforce. So 35 for each one of them is quite a bit actually, right? There you go. Also, the cinnamon is now working. Another thing that we need. This actually leads then to the chewing gum, right? Because the thing is, I want to produce the chewing gum on Martino, and I want to produce the citrus, so that we only need 1 trade rod for these 2 products, right? That's the goal here. So let's just find us the chewing gums. There it is. This one needs then the chemical plant for the chewing gums that we can boost by electricity. That's a goal, because we have oil in Martino, so we can use that for boosting a bit. We still need sugar, and we need caoutchouc. Now, caoutchouc is actually running low in Rosario, right? We have the caoutchouc production over here. Have we already boosted them? We have not. 50% boost is risky. It leads to riots. So I'm actually just inclined to go with a bunch more of them here, right? To get even more caoutchouc out. So we haven't even boosted these caoutchouc farms yet, right? So this is a whole new possibility then that I can use. We don't need that clay pit here ever, so I'm not even planning that in right now. Let's also upgrade that warehouse here once again. And we're going to need a smaller trade ship. Do you have something for sale, Isabel? No, she does not. A wooden ship would do actually for this. We could also use one of our airships, of course. We still have a Royal Clipper here though. That's fine. Anyway, so we're going to start a Rosario Martino. And it's going to be Caoutchouc. Not too much though, because we definitely don't want to deplete it for Crown Falls, right? We don't need that much Caoutchouc for it. That should already be fine. I could actually in fact use my Manticore for this. Yeah, why not, right? The Manticore is pretty much useless for anything else with those 3 cargo slots that it has only. So this is already it. And let's move this one into the New World trading here. So using an airship now for a local trade route is absolutely fine. I will need more Obreros here though. That's another thing. This is actually something that I could also use my airship for. It can entirely work, honestly. It's fast. Nah, let's use a new trade route for this. Manola Martino, right? And this one uses now the fried plantain and the ponchos. Get this over. The volume here will increase over time. There's Electra. Perfect. The thing is that we do need to have a really stable saxophone production. Boost by 100%, provides electricity. He seems like a nice, jolly good fella. And in that case, Martino needs to have a steady supply of that because we want to have Obreros in here at all times. So the Caoutchouc is coming in, right? That's all fine and dandy. And then we just need a bit of space once again. Probably here. Oh, look at that also. These oil refineries, they really like to break apart so quickly. And then we just need our sugarcane production. Here, once again, we need to decide how much. It's not much. It's in fact just 3 tops that we need for this, right? So it's a really low demand, low volume production that just gets very complicated by all the different steps in all the different territories, right? Then we need the sugar refinery. Tops also 3 again. It's probably never going to be more than that, right? And all of this leads then to, yeah, the chemical chewing gum. Times 3 is already way too much again because we can improve it by electricity. So the tops here would be 2, in fact, and that's it. If I want to electrify this, actually we don't really need to. I just need 2 right now. This will already solve the problem too. Chemical plant. Yeah, why not? Let's have it here for now to produce the chewing gum for this, right? And can I build all of this already? It's too much, of course, building all of this already. 2 of them will be fine for 2 of these guys here, right? And that's fine as well. With that, we have a huge deficit on the Obrero workforce. But we can counter this soon. Let's actually upgrade. Oh, we cannot do this right now. That's fine too.
Airborne and ready to go.
I will need a few more construction materials. In fact, you know what? Let's use this Poncho fried plantain trader here to also get me a stable supply of timber, of bricks, and of steel beams in. Because we're going to need that at some point too. As Martino is getting more important for us, right? That's that.
New orders.
There's my new trading ships with the white flag. One of them is going to be used soon. Because we now have everything in that we need to have the final trade route, Martino to Crown Falls. That has now the citrus. In this case here, let's make it 2 times because you don't know how big the volume gets. And then the chewing gum. Also 2 times, right? Let's just unload all of this. And the latest white flag ship that just arrived here. New World, San Juan. There it is now trading this over, right? So all of this for 2 new products that we can then use in Crown Falls to upgrade our skyscrapers. Just waiting now for the fried plantain and ponchos, then we can upgrade these guys here to have a bit more workforce available. And I might also just copy me another block of buildings here to also increase my Jornalero workforce. All of this necessary. So many steps for just 2 products. Yeah, complexity doesn't go down from here on. Can't wait for the filmmaking. Stay tuned.
Ship under attack.